This underground city hid 20,000 people, and no one knows why. 20,000 people lived under the ground, and the world walked over it for centuries. Half-second pause. This is not a movie. This is real. For most of history, this place was nothing special. Just a quiet town in central Turkey. Normal houses, normal streets, normal life. Until one day, a man knocked down a wall in his basement. What happened next rewrote history. Behind that wall wasn't another room. It wasn't storage. It wasn't a tunnel. It was a staircase going straight down into darkness. At first, people thought it was just a cave. Turkey has many caves. Nothing unusual. But the staircase didn't stop. It kept going, and going, and going. Rooms appeared. Corridors branched out. Doors carved from solid stone blocked passages. Air vents ran vertically like chimneys through the rock. This wasn't a hiding spot. This was a city. An underground city called Derinkuyu. And here's the part that makes people stop believing for a moment. This city could hold up to 20,000 people. Let that sink in. 20,000 men, women, and children living entirely below the surface of the earth. They had living quarters, kitchens, schools, churches, storage rooms, wine presses, wells, ventilation shafts, not temporary shelters, not panic rooms, a functioning underground civilization. At this point, most viewers react the same way. That's not possible. And honestly, that reaction makes sense. Because nothing in school prepares you for the idea that ancient people, without modern tools, dug 18 levels deep into solid rock. So the first question isn't why. The first question is what? What kind of danger forces thousands of people underground? What level of fear makes an entire population disappear beneath the surface? And most importantly, how do they even survive down there? Before we answer that, there's something you should know. This city wasn't built in a rush. It wasn't a desperate last-minute escape. Derinkuyu was planned, engineered, and deliberately hidden. If discoveries like this fascinate you, places that challenge everything we think we know, subscribe now. This channel doesn't rush history. We sit with it and ask the uncomfortable questions. Because what comes next is where disbelief turns into silence. Let's pause for a second and be honest. If someone told you today, dig a city underground that can hold 20,000 people, you'd assume heavy machinery, engineers, years of planning. Now remove all of that. No electricity, no steel tools, no drills, no modern maps. That's the reality of Derinkuyu's builders. The city is carved into volcanic rock, called tuff. It's softer than granite, but still stone. Digging it by hand would take generations. And that's exactly what happened. Derinkuyu wasn't built by one civilization in one lifetime. It evolved, layer by layer, century by century. Each generation went deeper. What shocks engineers today isn't just the depth, it's the design. The ventilation system alone is mind-blowing. More than 50 vertical air shafts, some stretching over 180 feet, delivered fresh air to the lowest levels. Even animals were housed underground, and they didn't suffocate. Water wells were strategically placed so invaders couldn't poison them from the surface. Massive circular stone doors, each weighing up to 500 kilograms, could be rolled into place from inside, sealing entire sections of the city. These doors only opened from one side. Think about that. This wasn't just architecture. This was defensive engineering, which brings us to the next reaction people have. Okay, but why go through all this trouble? And this is where opinions start to split. Some historians say Derinkuyu was used during invasions by the Hittites, then later by early Christians hiding from Roman persecution. Others argue that explanation isn't enough, because this city wasn't built like a temporary bunker. People lived here for months at a time. Children were born here. Lessons were taught here. Prayers were spoken here. This wasn't fear for a day. This was fear built into daily life. At this point, many viewers still disagree. Humans wouldn't choose to live underground unless absolutely forced. Exactly. So the real question becomes, what were they hiding from? Imagine hearing footsteps above you. Not friendly ones. Footsteps of people who would kill you for your beliefs. For many historians, This is where early Christianity enters the story. The region of Cappadocia became a refuge for Christians fleeing persecution. Underground cities like Derinkuyu allowed entire communities to vanish when danger approached. From the surface, invaders would see nothing. Empty homes, silent streets, no signs of life. Below them, thousands of people waited, in total darkness, in silence, for days, sometimes weeks. But here's the part that makes some researchers pause. Derinkuyu might be older than Christianity. Evidence suggests the earliest sections could date back to the Phrygians, around the 8th century BCE, or possibly earlier. That changes everything, because now we're not just talking about religious persecution. We're talking about a region that repeatedly chose the underground as survival. Raids, forced migration, collapse of empires. Each time history became unstable, people went down. And here's where many viewers have a turning point. At first, the idea sounds extreme. Then you realize modern humans do the same thing. Bunkers, subways, fallout shelters, different tools, same fear. Suddenly, the impossible becomes understandable. This is usually the moment when skepticism turns into quiet agreement. Okay, I get it now. And that's when Derinkuyu stops feeling ancient and starts feeling familiar. If you're at that point right now, drop a comment and tell me honestly. Would you survive underground for months if it meant staying alive? Derinkuyu isn't just a historical curiosity. It's a warning. It tells us something uncomfortable about humanity. That when the world becomes unsafe, we don't move forward. We retreat. We hide. We adapt. The city reminds us that humans are far more capable than we give ourselves credit for. Not just technologically, but mentally. Planning for the worst. Thinking generations ahead. Sacrificing comfort for survival. And here's the final wow moment. Derinkuyu isn't alone. More than 200 underground sites exist in this region. Some are connected by tunnels stretching miles, which means this wasn't an exception. It was a system, a hidden world beneath the visible one. Even today, archaeologists believe large portions remain unexplored. Rooms sealed, tunnels collapsed, stories unfinished. History didn't erase this city. It buried it, and we only found it because someone broke a wall by accident. If that doesn't humble you, nothing will. So here's my question to you, and this is where I want the comments to explode. What else are we walking over right now without knowing? If you enjoyed this journey underground, subscribe. Not because it helps the channel, but because history like this deserves patience, curiosity, and respect. The past isn't gone. Sometimes it's just waiting beneath your feet.